Across the vast Atlantic Ocean,
The Spanish Empire was in trouble.
a powerful French leader, Napoleon Bonaparte, had invaded Spain.
He captured King Ferdinand VII. He placed his brother on the throne.
The events of 1808 created a huge power vacuum.
The central authority that had ruled the American colonies for 300 years was suddenly broken. News traveled slowly by ship, but when it reached Venezuela, it planted a powerful seed.
The Criollos were born in America to Spanish parents. They were wealthy landowners. They were merchants.
They were thinkers. For years, they felt ignored by the crown in Madrid. They couldn't hold the top government jobs.
Those posts were given to men sent from Spain. The Criollos read about revolutions in North America. They read about revolution in France. The morning of April 19, 1810, was a holy Thursday in Caracas. The streets were filled with people heading to church.
But something else was in the air. A political storm was brewing.
A group of the city's most important Criollo leaders had decided to act. They confronted the highest Spanish authority in the colony, Captain General Vicente Emparan, as he walked to the cathedral.
They demanded an emergency meeting of the city council, the Cabildo, to discuss the governance of Venezuela, now that Spain was in chaos.
Emparan, feeling the pressure of the determined crowd, reluctantly agreed.
To settle the matter, Emparan stepped out onto a balcony overlooking the main square, the Plaza Mayor, and asked if they still wanted him as their leader.
Behind him, a priest named José Cortés de Madariaga made frantic signals to the crowd, urging them to say no. A great shout of "No lo queremos! We do not want him!" rose from the square.
Hearing the people's rejection, a defeated Emparan famously said, "Well, I don't want to rule either." He resigned his post. That very day, the Criollo leaders formed a new government. They called it the Supreme Junta of Caracas.
The movement for self-rule quickly gained momentum. The Caracas Junta sent emissaries to other provinces and even abroad to seek support.
By the following year, the political landscape had shifted dramatically. On March 2, 1811, a national congress convened in Caracas.
This was a historic assembly, the first of its kind in Venezuela, with delegates elected from several of the provinces.
The delegates met for months in the sweltering heat of the Caracas summer. The debates were passionate and intense.
Some older, more cautious members argued for moderation. They feared the chaos and violence that a full break with Spain would surely bring.
But a younger, more radical faction pushed relentlessly for independence, inspired by the United States and the French Revolution.
They argued that the time for hesitation was over.
Finally, the moment of decision arrived. On July 5, 1811, the Congress held a vote on the question of absolute independence.
Behind the momentous vote on July 5 were dedicated individuals whose passion and intellect drove the cause forward.
The most famous among them was Francisco de Miranda, a true visionary who spent decades in Europe and the United States, petitioning for support and planning the liberation of his homeland. In the Congress, he was the most powerful and impatient voice calling for an immediate break with Spain.
He had designed the tricolor flag, yellow, blue, red, adopted by the new republic, a symbol he brought with him from Europe.
Another crucial figure was Juan Germán Roscio, a brilliant lawyer and deep thinker. While Miranda was the fire, Roscio was the architect, principal author of the Declaration and key drafter of Venezuela's first constitution. Working alongside these giants was Francisco Isnardi, secretary of the Congress. He recorded the debates, drafted motions, and helped manage the complex legislative process, turning speeches into official acts and laws. As we look back, it is important to understand the difference between the two key dates. April 19, 1810, was the spark. Caracas took control under a mask of loyalty. July 5, 1811, was the fire, the full declaration of sovereignty.
It was the day Venezuela declared itself a completely free and sovereign nation, severing all ties to Spain.
7 provinces voted for independence, echoed by 7 stars on the flag used for many years. Independence was declared on July 5, but the beautiful written act was finalized and formally approved in the following days and signed on July 7.
Miranda's flag, yellow for riches, blue for the sea, red for the blood, became a powerful symbol for Venezuela and later for Colombia and Ecuador.
July 5 remembers the moment Venezuelans formally chose sovereignty, republican government, and national self-determination. even though the difficult battle to make that declaration a reality had only begun.